Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to Hampton, Virginia's Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Thanks for tuning in to YouTube Live and Facebook Live, and a special welcome to all of our outstanding friends and family in attendance. I am Brian White, and along with star racer Atlee Weiss, we will have the call for the Hampton Convention and Visitors Bureau Halloween Speedfest 200. We're so glad you could join us for this next race. One more left here in 2025 after tonight as we wrap up our historic 75th year of action and watch 4 series compete at high speed. All of this will take center stage on one of the longest running NASCAR Advance Auto Parts weekly series tracks in the country, located in the heart of coastal southeastern Virginia and directly across from the NASA Langley Research Center. You're in store for a full evening of great competition presented by our friends at the Hampton and Convention Visitors Bureau. Tonight, over 200 laps of door-to-door thrilling racing in 4 series, and includes the Yesco Limited Late Models. On track right now, it's the Virginia Sprint Series. Always good to have them back on the racetrack. They are ready to give it a go here tonight. It's also their season finale. 2025 has been kind to Chris Humblett, who won both races here in Hampton, Virginia this year. Can he sweep all 3 races in 2025? We're getting ready to find out this first 10-lap race. It's a qualifying race, and here they come through turns 3 and 4. The green flag has been unfurled. We are racing here in Hampton, Virginia at Langley Speedway. Quickly on the break is going to be the 38 race car. That car fast already now. 4 car lanes out in front, make it 10 as they come down through turns 3 and 4. The 38 of Chase Burrow. Normally that's Billy Hubbard, but tonight it's Burrow in that car as they race off of turn 2. Settling in second right now will be the 81 of Aaron Leach. Third is Chris Humblett. We documented how he has won both races here earlier this year. Caleb Harris drives the 6th car in 4th spot. John Smith will drive the J2 in 5th. And Darren Bollock from Millioc, North Carolina, currently being scored P6 as we watch Chase Burrow bring us off of turn number 4 now, and he'll put 3 laps on the board. And I'll tell you, Atlee, the fastest cars we'll see all evening long, it's this Virginia Sprint Series.
Yeah, it's always so cool to have these cars out here anytime they're here at Langley Speedway, and Chase Burrow definitely setting a good pace right now in that first place position. 14.024, he just turned fastest lap of the race so far for these sprint cars. See if he can continue to extend that gap. We got a local driver, Aaron Leach, right now in second. He's trying to close that gap. Certainly knows how to get his way around Langley Speedway, although he's won some championships in a wing champ car. Now he's in a different winged car.
Here's the battle for second spot coming off of turn number 4 with 4 laps remaining. This is a quick 10-lap race. These cars are circling this track in just over 14 seconds. You see the 81, that's Hampton's Aaron Leach, just ahead of Shiloh, North Carolina's car 20, Chris Humblett, who has won everything all season long at Langley Speedway. In addition to another victory, that car goes sideways over in turns 1 and 2. He keeps the car pointed in the right direction, but that could have been a big crash for Chris Humblett. He will be able to continue on as they bypass the 88 of Darren Bollock, who is now minus 1 lap. So Aaron Leach right now at least settles for second.
Now we'll see what Leach can do there in car number 81, getting ever closer. And of course, he's got Chris Humblett right there as well, has won both races, but they only got 1 more lap to do it. Here comes Chase Burrow off of turn number 4. He is going to win heat race number 1.
Chase Burrow delivers in a big way. Car 38 gets it done. He started on the outside pole beside Caleb Harris, and in the end, Chase Burrow dominated heat race number 1. He won by nearly 3 seconds over second place's Aaron Leach. Normally that's Billy Hubbard in that car. That is Billy Hubbard's race car. But tonight it's Chase Burrow behind the wheel. Billy Hubbard has jumped in another car that is normally piloted by Matt Mullins. I talked to Matt earlier in the midway. He's having fun watching the races. The Newport News driver is put the Copps Creek, Virginia driver, Billy Hubbard, in that. You'll see him here in a minute. But Billy Hubbard's car has won. Chase Burrow gets it done in heat race number 1. He'll win it over Aaron Leach, who finishes second. Chris Humblett had a big stumble over in turns 1 and 2 on lap 7. Kept the car pointed in the right direction, did not wreck. He'll finish up third this evening. John Smith, the J2 car, finishes up 4th. Caleb Harris was 5th, and Darren Bollock in the 88 car will finish up in 6th position. That is just half the field. Atlee, we're going to put the second half out now. Second half of this field will be rolling here on the Speedway. One more to get pushed off of pit lane on a beautiful fall evening here in Hampton, Virginia. Thank you to all the great fans that are here tonight. We had a trunk or treat just a little bit ago. Miss Brandy Marshall and team put that together. Multiple drivers and teams came together to display their race cars with a Halloween theme. And there were some scary looking race cars, but it was a lot of fun. Atlee, just so cool to see all the kids in costume and all the candy that they got here today.
Yes, I mean, it's such a great way for these young fans to be introduced to the sport, get to see these race cars up close and personal, of course, get that candy as well. So super excited that Langley puts this on every single year. Like you said, it's the 5th annual, so 5 years going of this awesome Halloween event, and hoping it continues for years to come. And it's always fun, whether it's been a points race with the Chambaluzzo Memorial Modified race, or now we have our touring series and our 100-lap limited late model race. Halloween weekend is always for racing here at Langley Speedway, and we're going to have some racing coming up here. Another one of our 10-lap heat race number 2. Got a strong 6 sprint car field. See if you can get it done.
Getting ready to find out heat race number 2. The indication being given, we're going to go green flag racing in 1 lap. Starting on the pole position will be Matthew Leach from Hampton in car number 11. To his right elbow will be the captain, Bill Mullis, in car number 45. Row 2 on the inside is the 54 entry. That is going to be Copps Creek, Virginia's Billy Hubbard. He's joined alongside the 42 from Providence Forge, Virginia, Jacob Wood. Starting in position number 5 will be car number 71 on the racetrack. That is Jimmy Humblett, and he's joined alongside the 43 entry of Chris Ware. As we get set to go green flag, 10 laps will make up the distance here in qualifying heat race number 2. Here they come through turns 3 and 4. Green flag has been displayed. We are racing Sprint Series once more. They file off now in turns 1 and 2. The 11 gets off track.
And Bill Mullis says thank you very much. The captain able to get to position number 1, and he will lead this first lap while we see Matthew Leach is able to collect it in that 2nd place spot. We see a new face in that 54 that's normally piloted by Matt Mullins. That's Billy Hubbard. He is side by side with the 42 of Jacob Wood, Super Street competitor, into 3 and 4.
Side by side they continue. Coming off of turn 4, Hubbard will clear the 42 of Jacob Wood to take over the 3rd position. Billy Hubbard trying to march his way a little bit closer to the front. Started this event P3, holds on to that position just ahead of Jacob Wood, who rides in 4th spot, just like we saw in the earlier heat race. These cars getting around the track in just over 14 seconds as we watch Langley Speedway owner, the captain, Bill Mullis, out in command of this race. Car 45 leads here at lap number 4 in convincing fashion. Nearly a 1.5 seconds. That is the gap he has put on 2nd place is Matthew Leach. And there you see Leach midway down the backstretch. As soon as I say that, they're already rocking through turns 3 and 4. The battle's going to be on for 2nd spot.
Here comes Billy Hubbard. He was able to hang on to 3rd, but he wants more. Let's see how he's going to get around car number 11. We saw that right rear tire smoking all the way through turn number 2. He's given it all he's got in a very short amount of time. Only 4 more laps remaining. And it's honestly just going to be this battle for 2nd unless Bill Mullis falls off. As not much time to reel in car number 45. So Billy Hubbard looks to the outside. He's got a few more laps to get it.
Seeing smoke come from the tires of car 54, Billy Hubbard, as if he's dirt tracking it. They are carrying so much speed in the corners, and you see it getting scrubbed off just a little bit with the cars sliding through the turns. You see Hubbard very comfortable with getting that car on the inside of the racetrack and letting the back end kick out as he does just a little bit more. He has caught Matthew Leach, stumbles just a bit over in turns 1 and 2. He'll reload going back into turns 3 and 4 as we now get the white flag. The final time around, Captain Bill Mullis in the lead midway down the backstretch. He'll go into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. It'll be Bill Mullis getting the checkered flag. He'll win heat race number 2 at Langley Speedway. The battle for 2nd will come to an end. That's because Atlee Matthew Leach was able to dethrone Billy Hubbard.
Yeah, great job playing defense for Matthew Leach. But I mean, in these sprint cars, it is so hard to pass because these cars are open wheel. You have to be super calculated and patient with your moves because if not, super easy to make contact and get into each other. But very strong run for Bill Mullis. Certainly made a statement. What a win that would be if he could win it at the track that he owns. See what Car 45 can do in our feature coming up later tonight.
That's right, Bill Mullis dominated heat race number 2. He'll get the checkered flag and pick up the win after leading the majority of that event from the outside pole position quickly. Was able to squirt by Matthew Leach and hold on to that top spot and take the checkered flag. So again, Bill Mullis wins it in car number 45. Matthew Leach will settle for second here this evening. Billy Hubbard will come home in third. Jacob Wood was fourth. Jimmy Humblett and Chris Ware round out the field. And if you're wondering where is the J9 race car, that's Gerald Harris. He crashed in practice. You see the scuff marks for the fans that are here in attendance over in turns 3 and 4 along the wall. That's where Gerald Harris impacted the wall. And thankfully the driver was okay. The car, not so much. And as a driver, that's got to be disappointing, Atlee, when you work so hard throughout the week to get the car ready to go. You get it in the box, you unload it at the racetrack, and in practice you crash and you can't race that night.
Yeah, absolutely. When you see those expectations kind of end up like that, it is definitely disappointing for the driver. I know when I first got here and they were practicing, I saw the 9 car go off on the hook, and I'm like, man, I was just looking at my paper thinking that he was going to be one of the favorites. So now he's going to have to watch his fellow competitors turn some laps and have to wait until 2026 because, like you mentioned, this is the last event of the season, the last opportunity to finish out your year strong or set a good precedent for 2026, and that will not be able to happen for Gerald Harris. But nonetheless, we're going to have a strong field of sprint cars coming up later on. But have we gone back in time, Brian? I see some old school cars getting lined up right now.
We have gone back in time. 1955. We see a 55 Chevrolet. We see a 66 Chevrolet. We see an 82 Cavalier. So it's going to be a lot of fun. The Southern Ground Pounders are on track after these short messages. We're back in Hampton, Virginia, Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. It's the Hampton Convention and Visitors Bureau Halloween Speedfest on this Halloween weekend. We talked about it just a few moments ago. We're going back in time as we watch these vintage race cars hit the speedway with this, the Southern Ground Pounders Vintage Racing Club. These cars have raced with the appearance of the 1950s and 60s all the way up through the early 80s. and they're going to turn around this racetrack 30 times here this evening. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for this one. On the pole position, based on a drawing held earlier right after practice, Lindsey Pond in car number 34 will start on the pole position, driving the 1955 Chevrolet from Deltaville, Virginia. To his right side will be car number 21 from Carson, Virginia, and a 1967 Chevrolet Chevelle, Josh Roberts. Row 2 on the inside, starting position number 3 from Mechanicsville, Virginia. That is Bubba Farmer. He drives a 1982 Chevrolet Cavalier. Starting outside of row 2 in position number 4 from Powhatan, Virginia, and a 1966 Chevrolet Modified, that is Chris Hicks. And starting shotgun this evening in car number 95 from Chesterfield, Virginia, and a 1968 Chevrolet Camaro Modified race car, that is Shane Lockhart. And that is the starting lineup. Atlee, 2 races in 1 because we have sportsman cars on track and we have modified race cars.
Yeah, 2 different separate point systems going into also one of their final races of the season. Right now, Kevin Flores is the sportsman points leader. He is not here today, so some of the other sportsmen have a shot at catching up, while Shane Lockhart, absolutely dominant season in the modifieds. He was fastest in practice 1, practice 2, and is the points leader for the open wheel old school cars. So we'll see how both of those races shake out. You can kind of tell the difference a little bit. One looks more like a full-bodied stock car, and you see those front tires and a lack of fenders exposed on those modified cars. We did see an early storyline. At one point, Bubba Farmer, car number 11, was sideways in the ditch in 1 and 2, so I don't know if he maybe lost it warming up his tires, but luckily was able to get it back going. But early little scare for car number 11.
Watching these vintage race cars on the track is so cool as we see these drivers swerve left to right to get heat in their tires on a cool race evening. So cool ambient temperature equals a cooler racing surface. And we talked about the pole setter, the 3VA, driving that 1955 Chevrolet, and that name sounds familiar. Well, it probably does, because the 1973 NASCAR Cup Series Rookie of the Year, we know that was Lindsey Pond, the 61-year-old driver who has been doing this for 35 years on and off. That is his son. So Lindsey Pond on track right now and ready to go here this evening. He drives a sportsman, and he is competing there on the front row with car number 21, another sportsman racer in Josh Roberts, the 38-year-old competitor. He is ready to go. He's been at it for a long time as well, nearly 3 decades for the owner of Off-Duty Graphics. The field is forming over in turns 3 and 4. The Toyota Pace Truck will hit pit lane. We are set to go vintage racing with the Southern Ground Pounders. 30 laps is the distance, and we are green. The Southern Ground Pounders are side by side going into 1.
What a great sound as they head off of turn number 2. We see Lindsey Pond able to get clear of car 21, Josh Roberts. Now the battle is on for third. We see Bubba Farmer trying to inch ahead of Chris Hicks and maybe also try to get by Josh Roberts as well. Great start for Bubba Farmer. We see the number 11 modified now up to second.
It's like a high-speed pace lap. Those cars were boxed up 2 by 2 just a lap ago. The top 3 now single file. We're still side by side for fourth, coming off of turn number 4. All of this happening behind that 3 race car, and now the battle's on. Those 2 cars nearly get together. If they didn't, it was awful close as we see Lindsey Pond in car number 3. And that's a couple of modifieds that are scooting by. He's in a sportsman, so technically Lindsey's still leading his race as those mods get by, including Bubba Farmer. And Bubba is watching closely because Shane Lockart's trying to close in that gap down the backstretch.
What a season it's been for the 4-time Southside Speedway late model champion, car number 95, a veteran in the late models, now making his way through the Southern Ground. Oh, he cut a car around on the front stretch. That's Lockhart.
Trouble here on the front stretch. Caution flag has been displayed because of car number 07, Chris Hicks, going around here on the front stretch. Don't believe he impacted any of the walls here, whether that being the inside or outside, but it necessarily a scary spin there for the 07 of Chris Hicks, who did go around. The 41-year-old driver who has been racing for 10 years has problems here, gets that car pointed in the right direction, and he'll continue on. But that puts us under our first caution flag of the evening. It flies here at lap number 4 because of an incident involving car number 07.
It's always a scary feeling because these are vintage antique cars that have been meticulously preserved. So when you get that close to a wall, you're like, oh man, my restoration work is on the line here. But luckily, no harm, no foul for Chris Hicks. He will take it to the tail end of the field, and he will get the 1 to green signal.
Taking a look at the replay, we've slowed it down. It looks like you can see the car getting airborne as he went way low on the racetrack below the white line. He unloaded the car coming out of turn number 4 and simply just lost control as the back end kicked out. As we saw the left side of that race car visibly off the ground, that had to be a wild ride for the 07 of Chris Hicks. Nevertheless, as we mentioned, did not make contact with the walls. So fortunately, he'll be able to continue. May have some damage to his tires, but nevertheless, the race car is in good shape. Getting set for the race restart. Just 4 laps of the 30 have been completed, so still 26 laps remaining here this evening. We're just getting started with Bubba Farmer at the head of the field with Shane Lockhart right behind him. They're racing back now in turns 1 and 2.
The battle resumes that we were watching as Lockhart already trying to look underneath that 11 of Bubba Farmer. 2 of one a sportsman, 1 a modified. Nonetheless, both of them looking to put on a show. Right behind them, we see Chris Hicks trying to work his way back up through the field. He's already caught the back bumper of Josh Roberts, and Lindsey Pond right in front of him, 3rd through 5th. Quite the tight pack at the moment.
Watching the 3 of Lindsey Pond staying ahead of his competitor in car number 21, that being Josh Roberts. Back up front, the battle's on for the lead for the modifieds. Here comes the 95 of Shane Lockhart, the 60-year-old out of Chesterfield, Virginia. By day, he's a general manager of Williamsburg Honda. By Saturday evenings, he's racing this hot rod. Of course, Shane Lockhart has competed in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series as well as the NASCAR Xfinity Series. As we see the battle right side of your frame, that is for the, actually that's a sportsman and another, looks like a sportsman and a modified going side by side. Coming out of turn number 4, that's Chris Hicks to the inside of Josh Roberts as they race back to 1 and 2.
Yeah, Chris Hicks earlier had quite the scare spinning on the front stretch. Now he's trying to make up the ground that he lost and to step in the right direction as he is still not able to get by Josh Roberts. Roberts hanging on the high side, something that you don't see very often here at this flat racetrack. Outside typically doesn't have as much momentum as that bottom lane, the preferred groove around the racetrack, but Roberts is hanging on, and Chris Hicks now looking to try to get underneath Lindsey Pond for 3rd.
Watching this battle take shape now at the end of the front stretch here after the 1/3 mark of the race has been completed. They thought about going 3 wide in the middle of turns 1 and 2. They think better of it, that being the 07 of Chris Hicks. He's trying to get by the 3 of Lindsey Pond so he can close in to his top 2 competitors. Meanwhile, here comes Josh Roberts. This is going to be a battle for the sportsman class, but we're having a battle for the modifieds. Coming off of 4, right now it's Bubba Farmer in that 11 entry, but the 95 of Shane Lockhart has been pestering the 11 lap after lap. He is there. He's not going to be able to make the run coming off of turn number 2, but he follows in the tire tracks now of the 11. Looks low on the racetrack, but he can't quite make the run here at the front stretch.
A lot of times in racing, we think about being offensive, making passes, but another key factor is being defensive and protecting your spot, because if they can't pass you, they can't win the race, and that's exactly what Bubba Farmer is trying to do right now. We see Shane Lockhart, he is forced to try to look to the outside because that 11 is glued to the bottom of the racetrack, not letting Lockhart get underneath him. He's going to keep peeking outside, but time is running out. We're approaching 10 laps to go, 15 laps to go for these ground pounders.
Good racing as we watch the cars flash by the start-finish line. 1/2 of this race is in the books. 15 down, 15 to go. Here comes Shane Lockhart. High, wide, and handsome. Could not get by the 11 of Bubba Farmer on the bottom of the track. As you mentioned, Bubba protected the inside lane. Finally, Shane Lockhart says, okay, I'll do it the hard way. He makes the pass. New race leader For the modified, Shane Lockhart's in the catbird seat, and he's pulling away from Bubba Farmer here as they go back to turn number 3. Just as we watch that battle wrap up, we're racing now for the Sportsman in turns 1 and 2.
Josh Roberts all over the back bumper of the 3 as they head down the backstretch now. That's Lindsey Pond trying to hang on to that 4th place spot. But Roberts continues to pester car number 3 as we approach the latter stages of this racing. Tires getting hot, losing some grip, and we see now still Pond able to hang on. The 21 peeked his nose down in there, continues to fight for this 4th place spot. This battle will be fun to watch.
It is indeed a fun battle as we see the 3-time Southern Ground Pounder Sportsman Champion in car number 21, Josh Roberts. He is trying to get by the number 3 of Lindsey Pond. He'll go side by side with him here in turns 3 and 4. Those cars inches away from each other, but it looks like the 3 will hold on. But Josh Roberts is not so fast. He'll stuff it back in turns 1 and 2. He's going to try to clear the 3. They make contact in turn 2.
Yeah, I saw that left front tire of the 3 get a little bit wonky there as they made some contact, but luckily no damage to the suspension. They keep going for now. Shane Lockhart having to deal with some lap traffic as he goes to the outside of Pond and eventually Roberts. So Bubba Farmer hoping maybe he can use one of these lap cars as a pick and get that 1st place position back. He's got one more shot here as Lockhart tries to go around Josh Roberts. We'll see if Farmer can take advantage.
These vintage race cars from the 1950s all the way through the early 80s, competing in 2025. The crowd loves it. We hope you're enjoying it on Facebook Live and YouTube. There's your race leader for the modifieds. That is Shane Lockhart. It took him multiple laps to get by the number 11 of Bubba Farmer. They were right there, knotted up lap after lap. The 95 tried to clear Bubba on the inside. Could not do it, decided to go top side of the racetrack. It took him a couple of laps, but he ultimately was able to get by car number 11, and he's pulled out to a tremendous lead. It's a good 7-8 car length advantage right now. When they hit the start-finish line next time by, it's just 5 more times around this 4/10 of a mile oval.
Yeah, what a move it was. Certainly if we had a move of the race, it would be the one made by Shane Lockhart, opting to go to the high side, the harder way around the racetrack to make a pass, but he made it work and did a great job getting by Bubba Farmer cleanly, and now he is extending that gap. Last time by, they ran about a similar lap time, but it's going to take a little to be faster to be able to make that pass. We see now Bubba Farmer, he's got 4 more laps to try to close back the gap, but Shane Lockhart is looking good.
Let's take you back just a few laps ago. Watch the 11 left side of your frame coming off of turn number 2. Look at that car almost lose control down the backstretch. Bubba Farmer did some good heads-up driving to keep it pointed in the right direction, but that could have went south for him in a hurry. Back now here at lap number 27. It'll be 28 when the 95 flashes by the start-finish line. This is Shane Lockhart in the 1968 Chevrolet Camaro, having a big run here as he brings it down the backstretch. We are quickly closing in on this one.
Able to take the white flag, Shane Lockhart. What a move it was for him in his modified. Saw a strong run from some of our sportsmen as well. We got the 21 of Josh Roberts there in that 4th place position. What a comeback for Chris Hicks after spinning on the front stretch. He was able to make it to 3rd, but Shane Lockhart gets it done.
Shane Lockhart, the late model stock car winner at Martinsville, wins the Southern Ground Pounders Modified, and Josh Roberts will win the Southern Ground Pounders Sportsman race here this evening. It's Lockhart and Josh Roberts who are victorious here this evening. What a race that we saw. One caution flag, it flew on lap number 4. Once we cleaned that up from the 07 of Chris Hicks going around, we stayed clean and green for the final 26 laps. But again, it's Shane Lockhart, car number 95. He'll win the Southern Ground Pounders Modified race, and the 21 of Josh Roberts. Josh Roberts of the 1967 Chevrolet Chevelle from Carson, Virginia, wins the Sportsman race. So it was a fun evening for the Southern Ground Pounders, but in the end, it'll go to car number 95 and car 21 as they're going to park them down in Dale Lemon's victory lane, and let's go there now.
We got two awesome looking race cars again going back in time. Love to see these Southern ground pounders out here, but got both drivers taking off their safety equipment. We'll have a chat with both. Again, this is kind of two races going on at once, a modified winner and a sportsman winner. Both of them had to fight hard for it. Of course, Shane Lockhart, veteran late model stock car racer, made the move to ground pounders. And Josh Roberts picks up his second sportsman win of 2025. This is Lockhart's 10th win of 2025. So both previous winners, and both glad to be standing here in Dale Lemon's victory lane. And here he is. We've got your modified winner, Shane Lockhart. Grabbing that checkered flag, cold drink of water. We'll get the on here. All right. And then also out of the race car, we do have the 21 of Josh Roberts. We'll talk to both, but first we'll have a chat here with modified and overall winner Shane Lockhart. Shane, you know, you had to work your way up through the field, but that modified was hooked up, able to go high side and handsome around Bubba Farmer and grab the lead where you held on to it, even with lap traffic coming your way. I mean, walk us through that race and walk us through that pass. I mean, the car still had plenty of grip up there.
Yeah, I tell you, it's a good club to be with, and hats off to Langley Speedway for having us here. And Bubba's a fine competitor, and I've raced Bubba pretty much my entire career. So he does a really good job. He's really clean, and you know how to race him. So it was a very good race.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to watch. I know, again, with that pill draw, you're not necessarily lined up based on speed. So what was that like, kind of having to work your way up through some of those competitors that maybe not at the same pace as you in different divisions?
Well, you just, you really have to watch the closing rate, because a lot of these cars are at different speeds. We're in two different classes. So, but it's a lot of fun. Hopefully we try to put on a good show for the fans. And, I just got to give a shout out to, some good friends of ours. The Munden family's going through some tough times right now, and our hearts and prayers are with them right now. And Ruby, we'll see you next year.
Well, again, congratulations, Shane Lockhart, overall and modified winner here tonight. And we'll go ahead and head on over and talk to our sportsman winner. Again, a race within a race. He had two different divisions. Josh Roberts. Josh, saw a great battle between you and Lindsay there for this sportsman division. I know only two cars, but y'all still put on a show. I mean, walk us through that battle.
Some varying speeds and cars and stuff, and Charlie and Lindsay have come all year long, and they've come a really long way, and we always look forward to coming to Langley. Hopefully put on a show for the fans, and Shane did his up there. So had a death in the family earlier this week, Jerry, so just raced back home, Randy and Kim and Charlotte and all them guys back there. So we appreciate you letting us be here.
Yeah, it's always cool to have these Southern ground pounders out here. We got some oatmeal cream pies. I mean, what's the story behind the oatmeal cream pies?
He's known for a good cream pie every now and then, so that's what we'll leave it at that.
There you go. Again, sportsman winner Josh Roberts. Got some Virginia mini cups coming your way shortly.
That's right. We've now completed a total of 4, make that 3 events. Our 4th event with the Virginia mini cups is coming up here in just a moment. Picturesque views here in Hampton, Virginia, as the sun hides behind the clouds as it continues to set over in turns 3 and 4. Atlee, it's coming down to just this weekend and next, but there's still no better place to be on a Saturday evening than the racetrack.
I know we've got some late season racing going on, a November race. Not often we see the point season go all the way to November, but that nor'easter that we saw earlier in the month delayed our championship night for classes such as the late models and the modifieds to November 1st. So the fun here at Langley Speedway doesn't just stop in October. We've got a race coming your way next Saturday. Championships will be decided. We have some very tight races going into that final race, so that'll be a fun one for sure. You can purchase your tickets langley-speedway.com, but got some mini cups. These cars are tiny, kind of remind me of our Cycle City Court Bandoleros that we see usually on Saturday nights, but these are actually adults and they have a little bit more power underneath them.
These cars flat out haul the mill over 70 miles an hour. As a matter of fact, the pole setter clocked in at about 73.5 miles an hour around this 0.4 of a mile oval. They never lift, so it's certainly a momentum track for these drivers. If they do have to lift and they lose momentum, you could watch them go back in a hurry. It's all coming down to just one more race, one more event, 25 times around, and who's going to be the 2025 Virginia Mini Cup champion? We're going to find out. Noah Matthews in car number 11, the driver from Glen Allen, Virginia, enters this race 1 point ahead of Johnny Shank. Johnny Shank, who pilots car number 34, he actually won the pole position. That gave him a bonus point. That took the gap from 2 points down to just 1. So who wins the championship? We're going to find out. The winner is paid a total of 50 points. Second place pays 48 points, and then you deduct 1 point for finishing third on back. So we'll be doing the calculations up here in the tower to tell you who will become the 2025 champ. Is it Noah Matthews from Glen Allen, Virginia, or will it be Johnny Shank in car number 34, the driver from Chesterfield, Virginia, and the Chevrolet for Bubba Henley Racing? We're getting ready to find out. Let's take a look at the starting lineup presented by the Hampton Convention and Visitors Bureau. Winning the pole with a time of 19.301 seconds. That is the driver that sets second in the point standings. And oh, by the way, if there's a tie in points, Johnny Shank, who starts from the pole position, would break the tie because he has the most victories. To his right elbow will be the driver he's fighting for the championship with. That's Noah Matthews in car number 11. Noah Matthews told me earlier today he has to win this race if he wants to win the championship. Row 2 will be car number 05. That is Tyler Thorne. Tyler Thorne has become the 2025 Rookie of the Year from Glen Allen, Virginia, and the V&M Mechanical Thorpe's Garage sponsored race car. To his right side will be car number 74. That is Jim Grady Jr. Jim Grady Jr. is from Goochland, Virginia. Row 3 will be the 7 car. That is Nate Thomas. He drives a Ford Mustang from East End, Henrico, Virginia. Starting 6th tonight will be car number 91. That is the driver from Fredericksburg, Virginia, and the Chevrolet Camaro race car. And starting on row 4, we'll find car number 38. That's Ronnie Schneider. Ronnie Schneider from Glen Allen, Virginia. And starting shotgun this evening will be car number 92 from Mechanicsville, Virginia. That is Todd Meredith. The top 3 have been inverted. That means the pole setter, Johnny Shank, will start in position number 3, and the 05 race car will take the pole spot, that being Tyler Thorne from Glen Allen. 25 laps makes up the distance. This is going to be exciting racing to watch, and we're going to see the season close for this series, and we will have a winner and a champion when we drop the checkered flag. Again, it's going to be very close between Johnny Shank and Noah Matthews. The field is rotating through turns 3 and 4. We are set for the start of the Virginia Mini Cup season finale. Chief starter Jeff Swanson waves the green flag, and we are green here in Hampton.
We not only have a points battle for the championship, but they are right next to each other. Shank and Matthews side by side off of turn number 2. Strong run down the backstretch for car 34. We see Matthews jumps to the outside. We're 3 wide through 3 and 4. Johnny Shank will take the race lead. Matthews fighting hard for second.
3 wide, as you just heard, at the end of the backstretch going into turn number 3 for the catbird seat. Right now, it's car number 34, Johnny Shank, who was the fastest in time trials, he goes to the top of the leaderboard, looks in the rearview mirror, and sees a hard-charging Noah Matthews in the V&M Mechanicals Thorpe's Garage car begin to close in and reel in Johnny Schonk. They're not only fighting for the race win tonight, they're fighting for the season-long war to see who'll be declared 2025 champ. I had a chance to chat with Noah's mom, who was very nervous. She said, but hey, if we have to not win a championship, there's a lot of respect that family has for Johnny Schonk. Johnny Schonk, who drives car number 34, spoke highly as well of Noah Matthews. But you know, Atlee, you're a competitor. You want to be selfish and you want to win this championship.
Oh, absolutely. To call yourself a mini cup champion, that sticks with you all throughout your racing career. And so that's definitely going through both Johnny Schonk and Noah Matthews' minds right now. Now, the last 4 mini cup championships have been won by Tyler Warner, who won our first mini cup event earlier this summer. He's not here, so the championship wide open here tonight. Did see some battles elsewhere in the field. John Alford able to get by Nate Thomas for that 4th place spot. Watch out for car number 91 as he tries to track down your 3rd place driver, Tyler Thorne. He started on the pole. He is kind of riding in a bubble of his own in that 3rd place spot, but nonetheless, like you mentioned, Rookie of the Year, very strong rookie campaign for car 05.
The 2018 Dominion Virginia Racer limited late model competitor in John Alford in car number 91 trying to hold on to position number 4. That's because the 7 of Nate Thomas is beginning to close him in here as they work off of turn number 2. Just 6 laps have been completed. You see this 7 car going to the top of the racetrack. Now will swing down to the bottom. He sees an opening, but the 91 is able to hold on to it. These cars, as we mentioned, there's no braking necessary. These drivers just hold the throttle down and keep it moving at over 70 miles per hour. Left side of your frame, that's the battle for the lead. Right side, that is a race for the 4th position between John Alford and Nate Thomas. But back up front, there's your leader. He is in car number 34. We're talking about Johnny Schonk. Can he go on to win the race and win the championship? We're getting ready to find out as they fire him back now, coming here off of turn number 4.
I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better racing situation right now. Both drivers in close proximity. The fight for the championship continues. Do want to shout out, give a heads up for Jim Grady fans. He has pulled it down onto pit road, and the 74's day is done. So tough break for Jim Grady Jr., the driver from Goochland, Virginia, in car 74. But we're back right now. Matthews continuing to stay right there with Johnny Schonk last time by. They ran very similar lap times. We see Matthews, he might be able to use that draft. Of course, we're flat out all the way around the racetrack, so maybe some Talladega-style slingshot moves could be in the books.
We'll see if that comes into play here in just a bit as we're calculating the points. As it stands right now, Johnny Schonk, as the race leader, would take over the point standings, lead by just 1 point. But again, we still have a lot of racing. We're not even at the halfway mark. As I say that, we will be next time by. It continues to be car number 34. That is your race leader, the Chevrolet for Bubba Henley Racing in the AMX Leasing and Logistics race car. He is your 2020 champion and the 2024 Tyler Roach Sportsmanship Award last season for Johnny Schonk, who's trying to become a 2-time champion. His lead, it's about 3 car lengths over the 11 of Noah Matthews, who entered this race as the point standings leader, but he did lose a point when Johnny Schonk actually won the pole earlier. And right now, as they stand on the racetrack, those additional 2 points that would pay if he were to win this event would give him just 1 point higher than car number 11. We're speaking of Noah Thomas. Atlee, when you're behind the wheel, how much information do you want to receive as far as points are being calculated?
Honestly, I really don't want to be worried about it. You know, I want to take every race as I can. It's maybe a little bit of a factor, but honestly, I want whatever the race is to come to me and just let it be a singular race and take it 1 race at a time. And so I think they're racing for the win and they're racing for the championship. So there's really not much else they're really wanting to figure out right now. You have some lap traffic, both of them able to work around the 38 of Ronnie Schneider and the 92 of Todd Meredith. I believe that's the only lap cars that they will encounter in the near future. The rest of them, well, at least a few car lengths ahead of them, now past the halfway point, getting closer and closer to this finish. Noah Matthews has got to be thinking about what he needs to do to close that gap because time is running out.
Got dicey a couple of laps ago for Noah Matthews, who when he went by the 92 of Todd Meredith, actually went on the apron of the racetrack, and he was able to keep it moving in the right direction. But nevertheless, a sketchy moment for Noah Matthews, who is trying to catch his competitor in car number 34, Johnny Schalk, because he knows he has to get by this driver if he wants to win the championship as they roll down the back straightaway, approaching lap number 19. It'll be just 6 more laps remaining. It's Johnny Schalk. He has dominated the majority of this race, but he's not been able to pull away too far from Noah Matthews. Matthews rides in the 2nd spot. Tyler Thorne is being scored in 3rd position in car number 05. John Alford has the 91 car wound up to 4th. 5th is Nate Thomas in the 7 entry. Todd Meredith, as we mentioned, is 6th. Ronnie Schneider rides 7th, and Jim Grady, who athlete documented a few laps ago having some mechanical issues, spent some time on pit road. He is being scored in the 8th position. There it is, Johnny Schalk versus Noah Matthews. It'll be 4 to go when they hit the line this time by.
Again, I said it before, we could not have been treated to a better situation for a championship race with the top 2 drivers and whoever's ahead of the other coming down to that last lap. I mean, it is storybook situation, but still, Johnny Schalk hanging on to that race lead. He's got just a few more laps to be crowned a Virginia Mini Cup champion. Again, that accolade, that sticks with you for a long time to call yourself a champion. I will say this, they are coming up on some more lap traffic. That's the 7 of Nate Thomas and the 91 of Nate Alford. Matthews hoping he can use them to his advantage, while Schalk hopes that they just get right out of his way.
It's going to come down to these final 2 laps to determine a champion. Right now, your leader's the 3rd car in line down the backstretch. That is Johnny Schalk. He wants to quickly dispose of lap traffic and end this race. Here he comes through turns 3 and 4. White flag is out one more time around. Johnny Schalk needs to carry it one more time around as he goes through turns 1 and 2. They have cleared the lap traffic, including car number 7, Nate Thomas, who'll go -1 lap, as will John Alford in car number 91. Here he comes through turns 3 and 4. Checkers are out. Not only will Johnny Schalk win the season finale, he'll become your 2025 Virginia Mini Cup champion. Johnny Schalk has done it by just 1 point for Noah Matthews, who'll finish 2nd in the season-long war. He'll finish 2nd here this evening. You see those drivers congratulating one another as he has done it here this year and tonight. So your winner, Johnny Schalk, a champion by 1 point. He'll leave this race with 681 points to Noah Matthews' 680. What a battle. Johnny Schalk, one happy driver. We saw the arm come out of the left side of the race car in celebratory fashion. He'll get the checkered flag and celebrate a season-long war in car number 34, Johnny Schalk. He is your champion, and talk about a walk-off championship. He'll win it while he wins the season finale. So the 2020 champion, sponsored by AMX Leasing and Logistics and Prince George, Georgia, gets it done here this evening. Johnny Schalk is your champion. So Johnny Schalk will win the season finale and championship. Noah Matthews will come up just 1 point shy. He'll finish 2nd tonight and 2nd in the championship. Tyler Thorne will come home in position number 3. Tyler Thorne is named Rookie of the Year for 2025. Nate Thomas in car 7 will finish up in 4th. John Alford in the 91 entry rounds out the top 5, with Todd Meredith finishing 6th, Ronnie Schneider 7th, and Jim Grady rounds out the field with mechanical issues in car number 74. So how about that? A caution-free Virginia Mini Cups. Green flag all 25 laps. And this Hampton Convention and Visitors Bureau's Halloween Speedfest. We see the winner. We see the champion. Let's get the thoughts from Johnny Schalk, as well as this year's Rookie of the Year, Tyler Thorne. Let's send it to Atlee Weiss.
Here we go. We got our mini cup in here in victory lane. Schalk getting his safety equipment off. You don't realize how tiny these cars are until you're standing right next to one. Here he is, climbing out. Fans, make some noise. Johnny Schalk, your race winner and series champion. Getting that helmet off. What an exciting finish. And as a racer, there's nothing more fun than it coming down to the championship. Talking to friends here of the series. Man, came down to the final race, championship on the line, and you were able to get a walk-off win. Worked your way from third to first, great pass in the opening laps, and were able to hold off Tyler Matthews, even with some lap traffic coming your way. I mean, winner, champion, amazing night.
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the fans in Langley for coming out here, Jabs Construction, Bubba Henley, Derek, Bubba Henley, crew chief and owner. I'd like to congratulate Tyler Thorne and Noah Matthews, who came in second for me. Awesome kid, awesome guy, respects everything.
Mates, so much emotions come with being a champion. I know, you work so hard all throughout the season to get to this point. I mean, how cool is it to just finally see all of this hard work pay off?
Man, it's been a tough year. Noah's gave me some pretty good battles. It just feels good, man. Hard to describe. I also like to say hi to my dad and my sister in Myrtle Beach watching on Flow. Sister's getting ready to have major surgery. Just wish you the best. Love you.
There you go, Johnny Shunk, your Mini Cup winner. Now we'll head over here and talk to our Rookie of the Year this season, Tyler Thorne. Start the season off in a new series, new car, new adventure for you in this race team, and we're able to come out as the Rookie of the Year. So just kind of walk us through the rookie campaign and also getting a podium finish tonight.
Yeah, definitely been a little rough. Had our ups and downs, but had to come back and shoot for the highs. And I definitely could not have done it without my crew chief of an uncle, my aunt, my mom, who's my spotter. So Rookie of the Year spotter right there. Props to her. Number 11, Nigel Noah. That's my cousin. Would not have been able to do it without him.
Now I got 2026 season on the horizon. It's going to be your sophomore campaign. I mean, what are your plans to kind of apply what you learned from this rookie year and maybe start chasing a championship for 2026?
Oh yeah, start from where I was this year, and it's only up from here.
There you go, only up from here, but certainly it's already high on the Mini Cup rankings. Tyler Thorne able to win the Rookie of the Year, but that'll wrap up things for the Virginia Mini Cup. We've got a $1,300 to win 100-lap limited race coming your way in just a few short moments.
That's right. The Virginia Mini Cups have wrapped it up for their 2025 campaign. Johnny Shunk is your champion. Tonight, we're so glad to have the Virginia State Police with the Help Eliminate Auto Theft here tonight. And Atlee, look at all of these amazing vehicles that are on the racetrack right now.
Keep our local community safe, so thank you so much to all of these sheriff's departments and, of course, Heat as well. Help Eliminate Auto Theft, doing so many great things for our local community to help keep everyone safe. So they're going to do a lap around the racetrack to showcase their vehicles. And again, we just thank you so much for all of the some folks that joined us here tonight.
We see our very own City of Hampton Police. We also have the Newport News Sheriff's Office. We have as well Gloucester, I believe, will be represented at some point. But nevertheless, we are so glad to have all of these law enforcement folks with us, these vehicles. You see the Poquoson Police also in hand, as well as our Help Eliminate Auto Theft program with Virginia State Police. Hey, the Virginia State Police Help Eliminate Auto Theft program is a proud sponsor of Langley Speedway. Joyrides are fun, unless the driver is a thief who just stole your car. Learn how you can help prevent auto theft and earned up to $25,000 for helping catch car thieves at heatreward.com. That's heatreward.com. So we do see all of these great police vehicles here on the racetrack. They're getting ready to do a couple of laps. And then we're going to go racing with our limited late models presented by Yesco. We want to give a big happy birthday to one of our pit road officials, Glenn Edwards. Happy birthday, Glenn. And we want to wish a special happy anniversary to Pete and Shannon, our race officials here with us. Don't go anywhere. We got more here in just a moment. We are back here at Langley Speedway as we get set to go after it here this evening. But before we can do that, we need to send it trackside for those most famous words in all of motorsports.
Let's get ready, race fans. Here we go. Drivers, start your engines.
And just like that, 11 limited late models come to life here on the front stretch. Tonight is not about points. It's not about ending a season as far as points are concerned. It's all about pride and winning the race. Who will do it? Who'll win that big check here this evening? And who will become the defending winner all winter long until we get back after it next April? We're getting ready to find out. Qualifying held earlier this afternoon, and no surprise, your 2025 champion in Aiden Millette. He was the fastest. He took home the Mosquito Joe Pole Award after he clocked in here around this racetrack in 16.741 seconds. Car 9 has been fast. But not as much of a surprise, but we know the two-time Truck Series champion, the driver from Williamsburg, Virginia, in car number 17, Atlee, was so close to getting the pole. He was within 2/1000ths of a second, and he reminded me that here earlier this afternoon along pit road. We're talking about Hunter Waltrip.
Yeah, a ton of confidence right now in that 17 camp. Definitely their best qualifying effort. Again, talked to his spotter, Bear Henning, and he was super confident with how that limited late model program has been doing today between practice and qualifying. I mean, starting outside pole, definitely a big accomplishment. 2/1000ths of a second across behind car number 9, but it's all going to come down to that long run speed. That was just 2 laps. Now it's going to be 100. That's the longest race that these drivers have seen all season long. And so we'll see who will be there in the end, who will conserve those American Racer tires the best. Another driver will keep your eye out on making one of his first starts of his rookie campaign in the limited late model. That's Tucker Jones in car number 14. Won the pole last time out on October 4th, and now tonight qualified position number 3. We'll see how long he can last on this long run.
Tucker Jones indeed is a driver to keep your eyes on from Smithfield, Virginia, the 2019 INEX National Touring Champion. He has been strong here at Langley Speedway in just a few races he's run. As a matter of fact, this is only going to be his 5th start of the season. He did get a runner-up back on September the 6th, and his last 2 races all resulted in top 5 finishes, 4th or better. So can Tucker Jones finish 1 spot higher to pick up the victory tonight? We're getting ready to find out. But we know tonight, because there's no points on the line, it's all about getting out there and going as fast as you can, win the race. If you have problems with the car, well, you got all winter to button it up before we go back after to 2026. So Hunter Waltrip, have they found something in car number 17 to get him a victory? We're going to find out here in just a bit. Today could be used as a test and tune. Nothing to lose to get ready for next season. Let's take a look at the starting lineup presented by the Hampton Convention and Visitors Bureau. Aiden Millett, as we mentioned, in car number 9, will start on the pole position. To his right side later will be car number 17, Hunter Waltrip, with one of his best qualifying efforts in 2025. Again, just 2/1000ths of a second separated the top 2. Row 2, we talked about the Smithfield driver, Tucker Jones, in the 14J. He's joined alongside Norfolk, Virginia's Danny Harrell in the Bay Area Glass Comfort Systems of Virginia race car number 95. Row 3 will be DJ Valente in a different car for him. It's the 27 entry. He's joined alongside car number 55. That is Justin Brown. Row 4 from Gloucester is car number 98, Matt Morgan, alongside Virginia Beach, Virginia's Sarah Grace Weitzel in car 21. Row 5, the 9th starting spot, is the 51J. That is Brandon Johnston. Brandon Johnston had problems in practice, spun the car in turn number 1, but kept it off the wall. So we'll see what Brandon Johnston has in store. He's joined alongside a Langley competitor in Michael Waters, who is new to limited late model racing in 2025. And starting shotgun tonight, making one of his first Langley starts. He's a dirt racer at nearby Dixieland Speedway in Elizabeth City, and he was this year's Sportsman Champion. We're talking about Joe Weiss in entry car number 41. That is your starting lineup. So Adam, we got a dirt racer who just won a championship. Now he's going to be competing on asphalt. He talked about it on the Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News with Scott Allen this past Tuesday night. He is jazzed up and he's ready to go.
That's an exciting opportunity for Joe Weiss, and it's a pretty big adjustment of a mindset in driving style on dirt and asphalt. I mean, that's a big transition, but we see drivers make it all the time and have a lot of success. Look to the Cup Series. Guys like Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell, they have dirt backgrounds and see success on asphalt because a lot of times it comes down to car control. Car control, super important on the dirt side of things because that car is always trying to step out from underneath you, and these drivers are going to be experiencing similar things when those right rears start to wear. The car's going to start to get yawed off, is kind of the term for it, off the corner, where it's the right rear is going to step out and you've got to hang on to it. So Joe, he's going to feel right at home when he starts to feel that in car 41.
Temperatures beginning to drop as the sun continues to set in turns 3 and 4. The Musco Lights are on. We'll be needing them by the time we get to lap 100. As the air temperature continues to drop, that means the track temperature will drop as well. The ambient temperature already in the middle 50s with a northerly breeze at 5 miles per hour, so it's a little bit chilly outside. The pace truck has picked up the pace by about 10 miles per hour as they're trying to get some more heat in these American Racer tires for this limited late model series. So we've got a 100-lap race. Atlee, you mentioned it earlier. This is 50 laps longer or even more longer than we are used to in this series. So the mindset, it's got to be a little bit shifted, I would think, for these competitors and teams.
Yes, we've seen all different kinds of laps throughout the season. Twin 35s, a 75-lapper, a single 50-lapper, and now a 100-lapper. And out of all of those races, it's going to be the most about riding. I would expect at least the first 50 laps you're going to see drivers tuck in line, conserve those tires, keep that steering wheel as straight as possible so they still have plenty of grip underneath them when they try to advance their positions up for the final 50 laps of this race. Again, this is a super important race, not just because of the money on the line, but how it can give you a ton of momentum to wrap up your 2025 season strong and give you a ton of confidence when it comes to your next season here in limited late models in 2026.
Let's take a look at some track facts here at Langley Speedway. This track opened for automobile racing in 1950, celebrating its 75th season. This is a .397 mile paved oval, 4/10, 6 degrees of banking in the turns, 2 degrees of banking on the straightaways. Our big event, of course, the signature race, the Hampton Heat 200, that being one of the biggest late model stock car races of the year. We also welcome the Z-Max Cars Tour each spring for their event. We are getting set, 100 laps. Adam mentioned it, tire management. Our Atlee, that is, mentioned it. It is very important. This track is like a cheese grater. It will wear those American Racer tires. And if you go out and burn those tires up in the first 50 laps, you may not have much of a tire left by the end of the race, and that could cost you. We know you're not going to win the race at lap 50, but you sure could lose it at lap 50 if you are too aggressive too early on. So it is a balance. Who will be the best at it? We're getting ready to find out. It's Aiden Millett, Hunter Waltrip on row 1. We have Tucker Jones, Danny Harrell on row 2. 100 laps of racing. We're going to see who wins the Halloween Speedfest. We are green. Limited late models are ready to go here this evening.
Let this high-speed game of chess begin already. Drivers moving, shaking, tucking into line. Your top 3 all single file. There goes Justin Brown to the 4th place position. Car 55 moves up, knocking DJ Valente down to that 5th place position already. The field getting single file, and immediately we're seeing drivers already getting into tire-saving mode. That's the first thing on their mind right now.
We qualified at 16.7 seconds the last time around. They turned 17.6 seconds, nearly a second off their qualifying lap. Atlee mentioned it, tire management right from the get-go. Everybody quickly got in line, single file, as we watch from car 17, who's riding in second spot, a good 6 car lengths behind race leader Aiden Millett. That's more than a half a second, the separation from first to second. But it continues to be Aiden Millett, car 9, early on. Just 3 laps have been completed, but behind the number 9 car, there's the distance back to second place is Hunter Waltrip, who's under attack now by Tucker Jones. Just behind Tucker, you have Justin Brown and DJ Valente, your top 5.
Yeah, Tucker Jones trying to see what he can do if maybe that spot opens easier than he maybe thinks. I mean, if it presents itself, why not go for the position? Because if you can get to that second place spot, you can better gauge your pace on what that 9 car of Aiden Millett is doing. So we'll keep an eye out on car number 14 along with Justin Brown, who was looking to try to get by car number 14, and DJ Valente right behind him, but field kind of tucking in line, kind of starting this game of chess like I kind of compared it to. And one driver that is constantly thinking right now, getting information from his spotter, that's Aiden Millett. He's trying to gauge his pace on how far ahead he's gotten from Hunter Waltrip. He doesn't want to get too far ahead because that means he's burning up his tires, but he doesn't want to let Waltrip get too close, or that can present an opportunity for him to snatch that race lead.
Aiden Millett, as we documented, the 2-time champion, of course, won the championship a few weeks ago for this series back earlier this month. took home 6 checkered flags here in 2025. He has simply been the best in this series. He bested his good buddy Jacob Derrick, who finished second. Jacob not competing tonight. Neither is our Rookie of the Year, Brian Runstrom Jr. in the 88R car. Nevertheless, Aiden Millett did want to give it a go. He wanted to come out and have some fun here on this Halloween weekend. And right now, he's having the most fun than anybody on the property at the moment. But again, we're not going to etch his name in the trophies quite yet, because we got to get to lap 100. Atlee, we talk about it week in and week out. These races don't pay to lead the most laps. It simply pays to lead the last lap.
Yeah, we see it all the time where a driver will maybe start on the pole, lead every single lap, but one mistake on that final lap, in this case, lap number 99, and you don't win the race. You don't get the trophy, and you don't get the check. And so we do see some moving and shaking right for second place. Tucker Jones is going for that check. He makes it by Hunter Waltrip and gets to second. Waltrip loses another spot to Justin Brown, and he is under attack from Valente. So things moved very quickly for car 17. He goes from second to fifth in a short amount of time.
Tough break for Hunter Waltrip. He was stuck on the high side, but I got to think the handling is beginning to go away quickly on car number 17. He is backpedaling from second. Now he's fighting to keep the fifth spot from Danny Harrell, and just like that, Harrell will go by, move car number 95 up another position. Danny Harrell started this race in position number 4. He backpedaled just a bit himself, but he has now worked his car back up to number 5 as far as the leaderboard is showing. But Hunter Waltrip, car 17, started outside pole. He is now under attack from 7th place is Matt Morgan. Morgan beginning to reel him in here in turn 1.
Yeah, floodgates open for car 17, and like you said about handling, although we're only 13 laps in, drivers are already noticing how their cars are trending. Their car might be a little bit too loose for their liking. It might be a little bit too tight for their liking. But even after 13 laps, these tires are already starting to wear, and these drivers are starting to figure out how these cars are going to be handling. They might be hoping for a caution. They might be hoping for a green flag run. Maybe some in-car adjustments like brake bias might be in their minds right now, but plans are constantly changing and evolving over all 100 laps, and we're seeing it right here, and positions can change on the racetrack like we saw with Hunter Waltrip, so it's certainly not over yet.
Atlee Weiss on the mic as Adam Welbrock is on assignment this weekend. Atlee Weiss, a part-time racer in this series in 2025, took home the victory in this race on April the 26th. He had 3 runner-up finishes. He was talking about the cars. For some drivers, maybe a little bit loose, meaning the back end wants to snap out when you're in the turns, and then being too tight, that's where the car just does not want to turn. It wants to veer right up towards that Portsmouth Army Navy billboard you just saw, as we see car number 9 continuing to flex his muscle. He's your leader, Aiden Millett, but the battle's on for second. Justin Brown has caught Tucker Jones. It may be a good switch up here for the runner-up position.
Yeah, I've been super impressed today with car 55 of Justin Brown, relatively unfamiliar here in this limited late model class, but he showed up right away, had good speed, qualified in the top 5, and now he is fighting to take second place for a driver who's been a pole sitter this season. So keep your eye out for that bright orange car number 55. Justin Brown has looked very well so far tonight.
Justin Brown riding in 3rd spot, DJ Valente, a modified racer. He has done it all just about. Valente in a different car this evening. He's driving the 27B, and he's being scored in 4th spot right behind Justin Brown in that double 5 race car as they take him back now to turns 1 and 2. 20 laps of the advertised 100 have been completed. So again, we are early on in this race. The actual difference between the opening laps to this 20th lap is almost a second. That's how much these drivers have dialed it back, and that's how much, of course, potentially for some, as tires are beginning to go away just a bit. But it's still early on in this one with Aiden Millett, your race leader. We're seeing second on back to 4th. There's Tucker Jones being scored in second. Behind him is Justin Brown. Now, Justin has lost a little bit of ground, Atlee. He was right on Tucker's back bumper just a couple laps ago. Tucker's been able to scoot away just a little bit by at least 2 car lengths in 3 and 4.
Yeah, I don't know if the handling has gotten a little bit more of a handful for Justin Brown, or maybe a spotter got on the radio and said, hey, let's dial it back a little bit. Your pace is too high. I mean, the spotters are putting in the work tonight, helping inform their driver about their pace, and especially their pace compared to others around them. They don't want them to go too fast or too slow. It's about finding that happy medium between you and the cars around you. So Aiden Millett, he's communicating, or his spotter's communicating to him about Tucker Jones' pace. Jones, his spotter's communicating to him about Millett's pace, and the rest of the field as well. So it's constantly stuff to talk about for these spotters and keeping their drivers on task.
Joe Weiss, that red 41 race car, has gone a lap down. We documented this as his first Langley start, a 2025 champ at Dixieland Speedway in the Sportsman Series. As we watch the 55 right on the back bumper of Tucker Jones. This is a race for second spot. That's a textbook attempt to make the pass. You give a little bit of a bump to the driver in front of you just to move them out of the way so you can scoot by on the inside. But indeed, Justin Brown maybe a little bit faster, puts the nose of the car on the inside, tried to make it stick, couldn't quite do it with Tucker Jones coming out of 4.
Now they're encountering lap traffic. Michael Waters, both of them go around the outside of the 36 again. 55 gets hard into the back bumper of car number 14. We'll see what Brown, now looking low through turns 3 and 4. He's been able to get to the back bumper of the 14, but getting underneath him has been a different story. Great job being defensive by Tucker Jones. He hangs on to that second place spot, and instead of getting second place spot, Justin Brown, all he has right now is some crinkles to the front bumper.
That contact a lap or so ago by Justin Brown may have been a bit more than what he wanted. We do see some damage to the nose of that race car. It is very minor, but nevertheless, the 55 did indeed
Trouble,
get
car around in turn number 2. That's car 51 of Brandon Johnston, and we stay green flag racing despite a car, and there we go, caution flag is out. Tough break for car 51, Brandon Johnston.
Trouble with the Brandon Johnston car. We documented how he spun in practice in turn number 1 earlier this afternoon. Goes for a spin under the Game Day Men's Health billboard midway down the back straightaway, and that puts us under our first caution flag of the evening. It flies here at lap number 29 with a single car incident. Thankfully for car number 51, Brandon Johnston, he's able to grab a gear and continue on. Don't believe he impacted the wall, so he'll be good to go. May have some tire issues, but nevertheless, he does have problems down the backstretch. And Atlee, that puts us under yellow flag number 1. It took us to lap number 29.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting now. This caution gives drivers an opportunity to get their tires cooled off, kind of take a deep breath after those 29 laps. I mean, despite these drivers saving tires, it was very high intensity, especially for cars 14 and 55. Tucker Jones, Justin Brown battling very hard during the ensuing 29 laps, but right now drivers probably communicating with their spotters, discussing how that car was feeling. Maybe if it's a little bit free, they might consider adding some front brake into it to help stabilize the car under braking, or maybe if it's getting tight, maybe add some rear brake to it and help free the car up a little bit on braking. Kind of use that car to your advantage, use that brake bias to your advantage, and let it work for you. But other than that, just get those tires cooled back down and get ready to do it again. One thing that's going to be interesting, of course, is our Choose Cone fixture of local short track racing. It allows drivers an opportunity to maybe advance a position or two if they go opposite of some of the drivers in front of them.
We'll see who elects to take advantage of the Choose. That's the V painted just prior to the start-finish line, just like you find in NASCAR's top touring series, including the NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and Craftsman Truck Series. 2 laps to go. Looks like Tucker Jones will go topside. The 55 and the rest of the field, with the exception of Matt Morgan, go to the inside. So nevertheless, we'll see how this shakes out. Car number 9, the A. Hampton Roads Plumbing Full Throttle Lawn Care entry for 17-year-old Aiden Millett from Yorktown, trying to become a 2025 Halloween Speedfest champion, presented by Hampton Convention and Visitors Bureau. So it'll be one more lap until we go back racing, and we have just completed 29 of the advertised 100 laps. Jeff Swanson, the chief starter, is letting the drivers know next time by we will be green flag racing, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll want to go ahead and tighten those belts, get ready to go after it. Can Aiden Millett hold on? We watched Tucker Jones and Justin Brown just prior to that caution flag. Those 2 cars had contact with one another, but they were getting close and they were racing hard for that runner-up position. Tucker Jones will restart to the right side of Aiden Millett. The safety truck will quickly make its way to pit lane. We are set to resume this Halloween Speedfest with our Yesco limited late models coming out of turn number 4. Tucker Jones did not have the good start that he wanted. That allowed Aiden Millette to quickly get by, and that will also allow the 55 of Justin Brown to take the second spot, although Tucker Jones tries the crossover move in turn 3. And there's contact. Tucker Jones is going to go by the inside of Justin Brown. Brown was pushed up the racetrack, comes down almost right in front of Danny Harrell. That could have been a huge crash here on the front stretch. Atlee, we got to catch our breath after that.
Yeah, what a chaotic restart. That choose cone definitely shook things up, and Tucker Jones as well, not getting the start that he wanted, is able to make his way back to position number 2, but Justin Brown got all out of sorts down the front stretch. One driver able to take advantage of that is DJ Valente, car 27 now up into that third place spot. He's trying to track down Tucker Jones for second. Of course, DJ Valente, a very experienced competitor in the Larry King Law Modifieds, among other divisions, trying to pick up his first career limited late model win. Looking.
Battle for the 4th position. Danny Harrell's trying to take it away from Justin Brown. Let's take you back just a few laps ago, how wild it got there. You see the 55 moves up the track. Look how he comes down on the 95. Didn't believe or didn't realize that Danny Harrell was there. You see him get on the binders coming out of turn number 4 to keep it off the fence, but he came right back down the racetrack in front of Danny Harrell. Danny did some good evasive heads-up driving by getting on the binders to avoid wrecking the 55 car. So again, that could have been much bigger than what it was. Now we know Justin Brown had some contact with Tucker Jones a few laps ago over in turns 3 and 4, and that's what precipitated that after the 14 and 55 got together. That allowed Tucker Jones to get by, and then we saw the aftermath of that where Justin Brown was headed towards the outside retaining wall, got on the brakes, but then shot back down the racetrack. So again, good driving by Danny Harrell as well as the 55. They did not crash here on the front stretch, but we are moving once more now. 35 will make it 36 laps have been completed.
Yeah, 35 laps has been the distance of some of the races that we've seen this season with twin 35. So at this point, some of these drivers are already entering unfamiliar territory about how their car is handling, and we still have plenty more laps to go, but Aiden Millette still trying to do the same thing that he's had to do for the first 37 laps, just trying to maintain that gap between himself and Tucker Jones, trying not to burn those tires off too quickly, but at the same time not letting that 14 car get too close. After a chaotic restart, the field has kind of settled out a little bit. One battle that is precipitating at the moment is Hunter Waltrip. He dives it down onto the apron underneath Danny Harrell. That's for that 5th place position. Remember, Hunter Waltrip started outside pole for this race, fell back early on and fell to that 6th place spot, but he makes it past the 95. We see car 17 is re-entered into the top 5.
Looks as though Danny Harrell may be encountering a loose race car. The back end trying to snap out from Harrell at corner exit, as he is having his hands full keeping that car pointed in the right direction. Danny Harrell, the veteran racer who picked up multiple victories one Saturday ago for our Portsmouth Rivers Casino Day of Destruction last Saturday. Danny Harrell won multiple things and, of course, has raced here over the years in multiple series. Right now he is running in the 6th position as Hunter Waltrip was able to get by and move himself back inside the top 5. He's trying to reload and catch the next car. That would be the 55 of Justin Brown. So Hunter Waltrip, maybe the car is handling just a little bit better, or his car may be faster on the shorter runs. As the first part of that opening 29 lap segment went, the longer the race went, it looked like the worse the 17 car was getting. So Hunter Waltrip hoping to have found something here on this next part of the race. Back up front, it's Aiden Millette working the 43rd trip around this racetrack. His lead is about half a straightaway over 2nd place is Tucker Jones. Now Tucker is going to look in the mirror and he's going to see DJ Valente beginning to close in, as we are showing you the gap between 1st and 2nd at the end of the backstretch.
Yeah, Tucker Jones, Aiden Millette still trying to maintain their various gaps. I don't think we've exited tire saving mode yet because we still haven't even gotten past the halfway point yet. So Tucker Jones, Aiden Millette, and the rest of your top 5, Valente, Brown, Waltrip, all of them still conscious about how much they are wearing those tires. Still trying to keep that steering wheel as straight as possible. But like you you said, keep your eye out on Valente and Brown. They're keeping it very close to car number 14. Brown trying to reel in Valente here for third place. I'm surprised he didn't lose handling. Maybe he did a little bit, but that was a very scary restart for car number 55. Could have been much worse, but he was able to hang on to it and keep it in the top 5. Still, we do see some crinkles to that front bumper where he got into car number 14. Justin Brown trying to see what he can do.
Atlee Weiss talking about the restart on lap number 29 after that first caution flag. It was indeed unorganized. The 55 had a better initial restart as he just gets by the 27 of DJ Valente to put himself back up to position number 3. That'll drop kick Valente back to 4th. But nevertheless, on the second part of that restart, at least coming to turns 3 and 4, he and the 14 got together. And again, the 55, how it did not crash, I'm not sure, but nevertheless, he is rolling and still has a shot at it here this evening as we are just a couple laps shy of the halfway mark in this one as we watch Justin Brown, who has reloaded and got himself back inside the podium for the top 3. At least he is running 3rd here at lap number 49. All of this happening behind Aiden Millett in car number 9. Your 2025 and 2-time champion has led since the drop of the green flag from the pole position. You'll see Jeff Swanson, our chief starter, atop the flag stand, giving the cross flags, indicating that we're halfway home. 50 down, 50 more to go, as Atlee Weiss described. The winner from back in April in this series documented this is their longest race they run all year long on this Hampton Convention and Visitors Bureau Halloween Speedfest. We had trick-or-treating earlier today. We had a chance for the fans to come down in full costume and meet the drivers, meet the stars, get a chance to get some autographs, some selfies were taken, and of course a lot of folks wanting to see that guy right there, Aiden Millett, here at lap 52. He is a good more than half a straightaway ahead of Tucker Jones, who rides in second spot. And Atlee, I want to touch on a point you mentioned earlier. We talk about this racetrack as having 2 straightaways, a front and a back stretch, and 2 corners, make that 4 that connect those straightaways. But we know the front stretch and the back stretch, well, they're not so straight. You're constantly turning, especially at the pace these drivers are running.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially as that right rear tire wears as well, that car starts to get yawed out, starts to break free a little bit. So the fact that this car is completely circular and you're always turning, it leads to even more tire wear. And not to mention, of course, the surface as well, very similar to a cheese grater. That's what it's always been described as. But one thing that's playing a factor right now for these drivers, we've got some lap traffic. Aiden Millett and Tucker Jones, those drivers getting ever closer to Michael Waters in the 36, who is making his 2025 limited late model debut. They are hoping that they can get through lap traffic cleanly and quickly as we are approaching, we're past the halfway point and we are now in the latter portion of this race. So I'd say at this point, the intensity is starting to pick up a little bit. I'd say once we get to 25 laps, what you have is what you have. You've got to push it, but the intensity is starting to pick up for these drivers and maybe trying to get some track position at this point.
Aiden Millett takes the car back to 3 and 4 as he's able to get by the Michael Waters car, the number 36 entry. That car being scored in the 9th spot, 1 lap behind race leader Aiden Millett. As again, he is checked out at the moment. He would love to see this race stay green all the way to lap 100. Will that happen? We're not so sure. If we look at the stats book, it probably would show at least 1, maybe 2 more caution flags. And we documented how these drivers were really going to try to bide their time, log some laps, find out what they had in their race car. As we get to the latter stages of the race, we know the intensity meter goes up. Drivers begin to make moves that maybe they wouldn't have made earlier in the event. And oh, by the way, they may be getting a little more tired. They could be a little more impatient, particularly if they've had a car that's not running as strong as they would like. But Aiden Millett does have a car that's running super strong. He's going to bring it back to the start-finish line and put 60 atop the scoreboard. That means we just have 40 more laps to go. He's got a clean track in front and a clean track behind him. He's got a little bit of time before he'll catch the next set of race cars, including 8th place's Sarah Weitzel from Virginia Beach, who is now exiting turn number 4. But it's all Aiden Millett. And as a race car driver, Atlee, what does it feel like to be behind car number 9 when he is just running such strong laps?
I mean, it can be a little bit frustrating because you're like, man, what can I do differently to close in on that 9 car? It always seems like he's got speed and he doesn't fall off as quickly as a lot of the other drivers in the field. I mean, he's always been very good at tire management and hanging on to that race car. So you were really playing that guessing game of what you need to do to reel in car number 9. You're just hoping that he can make a mistake, and that's exactly what Tucker Jones is hoping for right now, trying to reel in Aiden Millett, who is closing in on 3 more lap cars right now, one of them being Matt Morgan, who restarted outside pole he restarted 4th after taking the choose cone during our last restart. He fell all the way to position number 7, but it was still worth the risk, worth the shot, and we'll see if we have another caution. Maybe the choose cone is able to be used again, but if it stays clean and green, it's going to be very difficult right now to close in on Aiden Millett. He's got a 2.8 second lead right now.
Aiden Millett having a solid run thus far as we see Matt Morgan only making his 2nd start of 2025 in that number 98 car. Longtime competitor, he and his brother Kevin Morgan, regulars here at the Speedway. Took some time off this year to compete, not on a weekly basis, but right now it is Matt Morgan behind the wheel of car number 98 here at lap number 65 as he is being scored in the 7th position. His mom, Miss Lori Morgan, along with Miss Anna Morris, welcome you as you come onto the property here on the Midway. And just a great family. Their dad helps support that program as well. But they are in jeopardy of going now a lap down as the race leader, Aiden Millett, is right there. Now he's going to go to the high side to put the 98 car, at least attempt to put the 98 car -1 lap. Matt hoping to get a quick caution. That car gets out of shape coming out of turn number 2 as Matt Morgan keeps it pointed straight there as they roll back to turns 3 and 4 here at lap number 67. But that could have been quite dicey had those 2 cars bounced off one another, but that was not the case as Aiden Millett now has been able to get by and continue to try to stretch his lead. The lead about 2/3 of a straightaway between the number 9 of Aiden Millett and the 14J of Tucker Jones as they come back now to 3 and 4. And one thing to look at here for Tucker Jones, that's the 55 athlete because Justin Brown's beginning to close back in. As a matter of fact, he's there in turn 2.
Yeah, they had a great battle early on in this race between car 14 and car 55. And especially on that restart as well, things mellowed out, but things are picking back up as Justin Brown trying to work his way to that 2nd place spot. He looks low underneath the 14, but he's got Weiss right in front of him. Oh, Tucker Jones sideways off of 2, and we see Brown says thank you very much. Justin Brown up to position number 2, using that lap car as a pick, and we see Jones falls to 3rd.
Gotta wonder if that may have been a little bit of a nod to what took place a few laps ago after Tucker Jones and the 55 of Justin Brown get together. Brown this time gets to the back of Tucker Jones coming out of turn number 2. Tucker Jones washes up the speedway that allows the 55 to get by. So Justin Brown now solidly up to 2nd. If you're wondering, Justin Brown, have we talked about that name? Well, athlete, the answer is no, because he's not raced here this year, but Justin Brown doing a solid job. He's inside the top 2.
Yeah, Justin Brown certainly has burst onto the scene here tonight for a Halloween Speedfest race. That 55 car relatively unfamiliar to this limited late model division, but he has showed up with great speed, and as a competitor for drivers like Tucker Jones that have been racing around him, you don't really have a gauge on how the driver normally races. When you race around people every single week, you start to learn their tendencies, you start to learn how they are as a racer, but when somebody unfamiliar shows up and they show up quick, it can definitely be confusing and trying to figure out exactly what they are doing, how their car handles. So we'll see what Justin Brown can continue to do. He is now trying to reel in Aiden Millett for that 1st place spot. They have no lap cars in between them, so it's just going to be about pace. He's got 25 laps to do it.
Let's take you back just a few laps ago with the contact between the 55 and the 14. So there's the 55 going into turns 1 and 2, talking about Justin Brown, and there it is. There's the contact that was made with the 14, who was completely sideways coming out of turn number 2. So good driving by Tucker Jones to avoid spinning that car. We'll show you one more time as you see Joe Weiss on the 41 car. So not sure if the 14 came down or the 55 went up, but nevertheless, we know the roles were reversed a few laps ago when we caught the tail end of the 55 almost getting into the fence back at lap earlier in this race, and then he came back down the track right in front of Danny Harrell. So here comes the 14. Tucker Jones is beginning to reel back in Justin Brown. So will we see more contact? We're going to find out. 22 laps remain in this one. So we're in the final quarter of this Yesco Limited Late Models 100 lap event. We've got sprint car racing coming your way next. So we still have one more event following this race. And then, of course, we are racing next weekend. It's the final weekend of action here in 2025. As we'll cap off the year, we will crown champions in all the divisions that were not crowned earlier this month, including our Premier Series. We'll have the Hoosier Driver Late Models coming up next Saturday. 5 o'clock is showtime. Get your tickets online at langley-speedway.com. or you can buy them at the box office when you get here on the property. Of course, if you can't physically get here, Flow Racing will have live flag-to-flag coverage next Saturday. 80 laps have been completed, 20 more to go. As I say that, 81 flip on the board, so that means 19 laps to go. The best battle of the track, Atlee, it's for second.
Yeah, Tucker Jones trying to make a comeback and get back by car number 55. They have battled with each other all race long, so we'll see what Tucker Jones can do right now. They're reeling in lap traffic there with Danny Harrell as well.
Danny Harrell on track at the moment is being scored in 6th position. There you see him in that white and red number 95. He is 1 lap off from the drivers that are trying to go by on the inside. At least the 55 of Justin Brown will indeed clear the 95. Tucker Jones will try to do so because Tucker Jones wants to catch the 55 car so he can take that second spot back from him. 83 down, 17 more remain. That's second and third place. The leaders at the start-finish line, so that gives you the gap. It's a little more than a straightaway now, the difference between first and second place. So Atlee make that Aiden Millette clearly out in front. Now again, we talked about it earlier. He wants to see this race stay green. Will we? We're going to find out. Just one caution thus far. It came back at lap number 29 when the car number 51 went for a spin, that being Brandon Johnston. Brandon still racing. He's being scored in 10th position, some 3 laps down here at the moment. So we'll take you back just a few laps ago where we had a car that got into the wall. So watch this coming out of turn number 2. Looks like it may be the 14. Indeed, a heavy lick by Tucker Jones in the outside fence there, middle way down the back straightaway. So third place Tucker Jones with some problems a few laps ago. There is another look at it, and you see the car completely bouncing off the wall. Clearly got that car out of shape, but he is able to continue. As a matter of fact, didn't hurt the car too much because he's trying to continue to close in to Justin Brown.
Yeah, Tucker Jones trying to make that comeback in position number 3. That's how it goes as a racer, is sometimes you got to try to bounce back from situations and make a comeback, and that's exactly what Tucker is trying to do right now. Again, continuing to navigate around some lap traffic. We'll see what car number 14 can do, but like you said, Aiden Millette, sizable lead over the rest of the field. He is hoping for no caution flag to come out, hoping it goes clean and green.
The 14 was wrecking sideways down the backstretch that last time around, was very loose coming off of turn number 4, so something has gone awry for Tucker Jones, the driver from Smithfield. Looked much better that last time down the backstretch, but that car 14 was completely sideways just a few moments ago. 10 laps remain. It's all Aiden Millette. This is your second and third place cars of Justin Brown and Tucker Jones in that blue and black number 14. As Tucker continues to give it all he has. He's throwing it all at it, including the kitchen sink, to get to Justin Brown. And we talk about how these drivers are right on razor's edge from going as fast as they can to completely wrecking their car. And Atlee, we know it's a balance because you have to go at razor's edge lap after lap if you want to win these races.
Yeah, when we saw that battle, it was right about that point where the intensity officially picked up. Drivers put tire saving out of their minds, and so at that point you are right on that razor's edge, just like you are in qualifying. However, what's different between now and qualifying is that we have 92 laps on these tires now at this point compared to when they are fresh out of the tire cart. So trying to push a car at a razor's edge while it's not handling the best is easier said than done, and that's exactly what we're seeing these drivers do right now as the cars maybe not handling exactly to their liking. They've got to hang on for 7 more laps.
Let's talk about it, look at it one more time, that is. Watch the 14 a few laps ago coming out of turn number 2. Look at the back end just completely snap out from underneath of him, but he continued to dig as hard as he can. Look at it one more time. You see the 55 as well. Just before that was out of shape, so both drivers having some handling issues, but nevertheless, it has been wild. But we still have 5 more laps to go. 95 have been completed of the 100. You're thinking, where's Aiden Millett? Well, he's more than a straightaway out. He's coming out of turn number 4. There he is, just behind Matt Morgan, who's being scored in position number 8. Aiden Millett, your 2025 and now 2-time champion for this Yesco Limited Late Models. He won a string of 4 consecutive races throughout the spring into the summer, would go on to win 2 more in late summer into early fall, and multiple second place finishes. His worst finish of the year was in early August when he came home in 4th position. So it's just been a banner year, I'd say, athlete for Aiden Millett.
Yeah, absolute domination we've seen here in this limited late model class for car number 9, just as we've seen in this race. I mean, it's been very impressive to see the performance that Millett has had. So he's got 2 more laps to try to hang on to it as he gets the cross flags right there. Car number 9 hoping to cap off what has been a phenomenal race.
Aiden Millett will take the white flag. He'll send it back to turns 1 and 2. Doesn't really have to push the issue with the 21 of Sarah Weitzel or the 95 of Danny Harrell. He's got a comfortable lead as he takes it back to turns 3 and 4 for the final time. And coming out of turn number 4 for the 7th time this year, Aiden Millett will win the limited late models on this Halloween Speedfest presented by Hampton Convention and Visitors Bureau. Aiden Millett will lead wire to wire from the pole position to get it done here tonight. All 100 laps were led by Aiden Millett, your 2025 champion. A dominating race. He took the boys and girls to the woodshed this evening, pretty much in his own zip code all night long for car number 9, Aiden Millett. He is going to be victorious. He'll take that checkered flag, do a little bit of celebrating here on the front stretch. Turns the car around, trying to celebrate big time with these fans. It's going to be a smoke show as he's doing the burnout here on the front stretch. Aiden Millett says we've got all winter to get this car buttoned up. He's going to have fun with it tonight and use up those American Racer tires, or they're already used up. He's going to use them up a little bit more for Aiden Millett in car number 9. So the celebrations continue. He has the checkered flag out the driver's side window, and he's getting ready to drive it down to Dale Lemon's victory lane here along the front stretch. And Aiden Millett getting it done when it matters. He knew points were over with. They were done earlier this month. Tonight it was all about going out and winning, and he did it in convincing fashion. Almost 4 seconds was the margin of victory for car number 9, Aiden Millett, who has done it. His dad, Brian, mom, Nicole, will be down there celebrating with their son, who is victorious tonight. He has done it. He has won. We're talking about Aiden Millett, and looks like the family, the crew members beginning to assemble down in Dale Lemon's victory lane, and let's send it trackside.
Leading from flag to flag, car number 9, Aiden Millett, now parked it into victory lane after an elaborate burnout. If those tires were already worn, they're done now after burning it down here in Dale Lemon's victory lane. But he's getting that helmet off unstrapped. We will talk to the 2-time limited champion and now Halloween Speedfest winner here for 2025. A cold drink of water. 100 laps, that'll wear you out for sure. Especially having to wheel these limited late models that are always on edge. These American Racer tires. We see crew chief Dwayne Skinnell there as well. Just them a congratulations. And here he is, fans, Aiden Millett, your Halloween Speedfest winner. Lots of excitement down here in victory lane. Had to hang on to it for 100 long laps, leading from flag to flag. And we talked to you earlier after you won the pole, said it was going to be tough, but led from flag to flag, all 100 laps, and now $1,300 richer here with the Halloween Speedfest win. I mean, walk us through that one. You had to manage those tires well and hang on to it.
Yeah, man, that was I definitely was able to get a little lead. Unfortunately, had that yellow, and then set sail from there and just kept riding. And I was getting told to slow down, and I couldn't go any slower. So that just shows how good. I don't know, but that just shows how good our car was. Happy to have RDS Performance back with us. He set up a good car this week, so can't thank him enough. Super happy to have him back at the track. My dad, my mom, my Mimi and Papa, just everyone else who helps me. A special shout out to the Vanguard for making this weekend possible, getting our tires. I really appreciate that. Without him, we wouldn't be here. And just thank you to everyone else who helped me this year. The Vanguard, obviously, Space Makers, Hampton Roads Plumbing, Full Throttle Lawn Care. Oh, I'm sure I'm missing some. I'm missing a lot of people, I'm sure, but I just can't thank everyone. First Line Motorsports. Oh man, I'm sure I'm missing a few, but just thank you to all of them, and special shout out to Skinno again. Thank you, and thank you to Jason. Just thank you to everyone who made this weekend possible.
Now, you mentioned that communication with your spotter, how important it is trying to manage that gap between yourself and second place. I mean, what was the communication kind of evolution throughout that race, trying to manage the gap between the 14 and then the 55?
Yeah, it was definitely a lot. Skinner was on the radio telling me what lap times they were running. I'd run hard for a couple laps, get a bigger gap, and then, we just set a pace and we stayed there. So definitely wasn't easy, but we had a pretty good night, I could say.
Pretty good night there for car number 9. He brings home the Halloween Speedfest, $1,300 and bragging rights all winter long. But fans, this isn't the last race of the night. We have one more coming your way. It's the Virginia Sprint Series to close out Halloween Speedfest.
How about that? Aiden Millett. Wire to wire, all 100 laps. It goes to car number 9. He'll win it here this evening. Justin Brown comes home in second spot. Justin's first start in the 55 entry. Tucker Jones will finish up in third tonight. DJ Valente was fourth, and Hunter Waltrip, who started on the outside pole, he'll finish up in fifth position. Sixth tonight was Danny Harrell. Sarah Weitzel came home seventh. Matt Morgan was eighth. Michael Walters was ninth. And rounding out the top 10 was Brandon Johnston. Joe Weiss, in his first start, comes home in 11th, where we saw just one caution flag back on lap number 29. So it was relatively a clean and green race with some excitement. We had some battles. We had some cars spinning. We had some leaders almost wrecking. It was a wild but very fun race. And Atlee, I believe we're getting ready for a 50-50.
Yes, we've got the Gloucester Outlaws football down here. And we will give you a number in just a second. So if you purchased a 50-50 ticket, fans, listen up, because we will be reading you the winning number, again, courtesy of Gloucester Outlaws football. And so we'll see who we have. All right, we have the winning ticket here. Listen, if this is your number, it is 153324. Again, 153324. That's the winning ticket for the 50-50 raffle. Please go see our friends at Gloucester Outlaws Football in the Midway to retrieve your prize.
We'll have more, including our final event, the Virginia Sprint Series, after this.
Each time you gotta listen to it, podcast, man.
We're back on this Halloween weekend for the Hampton Convention and Visitors Bureau Halloween Speedfest. We've had trick-or-treating. We've had lots of, let's just say, skeletons, pumpkins, and we even got one there right beside Sarah Grace Weitzel that's been inflated there along the pits. It's just been very fun, and we'll just call it festive, Atlee.
Yeah, it's been a super fun race night, and like you said, festive here, Halloween Speed Fest. We've had lots of costumes here with Trunk or Treat. Had a costume contest and a car costume contest as well for those bringing their cars for the Trunk or Treat in the outside pits. And then after that, we've had scary good racing on the racetrack with 3 feature races in the book, 2 heat races in the books as well. And we're going to close things out with what could be one of the best races, or if not the best race of the night. It's going to be the Virginia Sprint Series. They've got the push four-wheelers behind them. Of course, they need a little bit help getting started, but nonetheless, it's going to be a fun one. We've already got a taste of them with 2 10-lap heat races that help determine our starting lineup, and now we'll officially get the full sample size with this feature event.
Hey, Hampton Convention and Visitors Bureau encourages you to race on over to family fun at attractions, dining, shopping, and more. For details on the fun, click on visithampton.com. That's visithampton.com. From racing at Langley Speedway and Peninsula Pilots Baseball at War Memorial Stadium to sailing rallies and hydroplane racing on our waterways, Hampton is home to great sports. The Hampton Convention and Visitors Bureau salutes tonight's drivers and the crews that have helped bring them here, as well as all the fans who cheer them on. Thank you to Mary Fugere and the entire team with our Hampton Convention and Visitors Bureau. It's coming down to, as Atlee just mentioned, one more race to settle it tonight. It'll be the fastest race of the evening. These cars get around this track literally the quickest. We're talking about the Virginia Sprint Series as they look to wrap up their 2025 campaign tonight. For this series, it'll be their 11th and final race of the season. 9 different winners this year. The driver with the most is Chris Humblett. He has 3 checkered flags in 2025. 2 of those came at the only 2 races we have had here at Hampton, Virginia. So Chris Humblett trying to go 3 for 3. His other win came at Shenandoah Speedway on September the 20th. The driver who has 2 victories here in 2025, at least on the Touring Series, that is Gerald Harris. Gerald Harris slated to give it a go here in just a bit in the J9 car, but remember, he crashed in practice, slamming the outside retaining wall over in turns 3 and 4, so that's going to cut his night short, so Harris will not be competing in this one. Other drivers that have found success in 2025, well, no surprise there by the driver who has 2 wins, Dylan Schatzer. Drivers with 1 win this year include Casey Weaver, Kenny Hafner, Mike Laraz, Drew Young, Ken Duke, and Josh Spicer just got it done on October 4th. They're one of the very last few races they had at Thundering Rock Raceway in Maryland. Their last event was actually at Natural Bridge Speedway, in which Gerald Harris picked up the win. So will we get let's say a 10th different winner this year? We're getting ready to find out as these cars will be pushed off of pit lane to go on the racetrack. But Adam, one thing is for sure, these cars will get around this track and they'll get around in a hurry. Don't blink because another lap will be completed. Getting set to go after it here tonight, the final race of the evening, the Virginia Sprint Series. Don't forget, we'll continue the fun one more time here in 2025. Our season finale will close the curtain on the year next Saturday night, November the 1st. Green flag, 5 o'clock. Don't miss it. We're going to crown champions in our Who's Your Driver late models, as well as our Larry King Law modifieds. We'll have the Pepsi Grand Stocks in action. We'll have the Farley Financial U cars, and we'll have the Pro 6 Division in action next weekend. Again, 5 o'clock start time, Saturday, November the 1st. Get your tickets online at langley-speedway.com, or you can buy them once you get here on the property next Saturday. So we hope you'll be with us. And of course, don't forget, tickets on sale for our awards banquet taking place on Saturday, January the 24th. You'll want to go ahead and secure those tickets before they sell out. We only have a limited number of seats available, so go ahead and get your tickets and get ready to have some fun as we celebrate the 2025 season. And again, we know we still have one more weekend to settle it here this year. All right, cars beginning to roll now. I want to thank some of the sponsors of this great Virginia Sprint Series, the crews that travel the circuit here. Sponsors include Precise Racing Products, Hoosier Racing Tires, Hoosier Tire Mid-Atlantic, Brodick Cylinder Heads, Great Bridge Muffler and Brake, as well as Chevron Lubricants by Jim Haynes Sales, Chesapeake Cove Marina out of Deltaville, Virginia, Harris Moving, IMCA Racing, Wix Filters by Factory Motor Parts Stores, Bronco and Blondie at www.dirt-tracking.com, as well as Tim Breaker Signs. We also want to thank Pitch Hit Run Baseball Training Center, DMI, and Crates Oval Track Parts. Some of the sponsors of this great Virginia Sprint Series as they are beginning to roll. We've had half the cars on the track at one time, but now Atlee, we're going to put all of them on the track at one time, -2. We talked about Gerald Harris with the practice crash earlier today, but the 11 of Matthew Leach, his car just had a major problem in the pits a few moments ago, so he will not be able to start this event. That'll have now just 11 cars, but we're going to put all of them on the track at the same time.
Yeah, heard from a source that we did see they were making some repairs to that car, and it saw an explosion, I believe, with a welder. So glad everybody is okay down there with the Matthew Leach team, but very scary for those of you wondering what that explosion was. Well, we were interviewing limited late model winner Aiden Millette, making some repairs, and saw an explosion. But again, everybody is okay. But already some action here with the Virginia Sprints before the racing even started.
Talking with Jack Dodson with Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News with Scott Allen. This coming Tuesday, 7 o'clock is showtime. Facebook Live, the place to be. They'll have Butterbean Brendan Queen, who's going to start inside the top 10 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series in Martinsville. They're going to have Joey Owens from Lonesome Pine. Eric will be on. And then Ryan Bell, the crew chief for ARCA Racing, will be on. Again, that's Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News with Scott Allen, but our very own Butterbean Brendan Queen, who has announced he's running full-time at the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series in 2025 after winning the 2024 ARCA Menard Series Championship. Our three-time late model champ. He'll be on the show next Tuesday, 7 o'clock, Facebook Live. We're ready to go sprint car racing. The Virginia Sprints, their final race of the year on the pole position. That's a refined car, number 38, Chase Burrow. To his right side, our captain, the owner of Langley Speedway, who dabbles in racing and has fun. That is going to be Bill Mullis. Row 2 will be car number 81. That is Aaron Leach out of right here in Hampton. Outside of row 2 is going to be the Copps Creek, Virginia competitor, and Billy Hubbard. Billy Hubbard in a different ride here this evening. Starting inside of row 3 in the 5th spot, that'll be car number 20, Chris Humblett. Chris Humblett ready to go. He is from Shiloh. To his right side would have been Matt Leach, but that'll move the outside row up a position. Also on the racetrack, we'll find the J2 car. That is going to be John Smith with the number 42 also on track. The 42 is Jacob Wood, who normally races Super Streets. As we get the indication, we're going green flag racing, and one more lap behind them is where we'll find the number 6 race car. That is Caleb Harris, along with Jimmy Humblett in car number 71. Darren Bollock from Moyock, North Carolina, car number 88. And then Chris Ware pilots car number 43. 25 laps, that'll be the distance for this Virginia Sprint Series race. Don't blink or you're going to miss a lot. Who is going to win it tonight? Tighten the belts. We're getting ready to find out. Chase Burrow, Bill Mullis, the green flag has been displayed. We are sprint car racing.
Field starting to get itself shaken out side by side for third. We've got Aaron Leach and Billy Hubbard. Hubbard on the outside, able to clear car number 81, working his way into that third place position, but it's Chase Burrow in car 38. He will lead the initial lap with Bill Mullis in that second place spot.
Billy Hubbard's been able to move himself up one position. He's gotten by Aaron Leach. So move Billy Hubbard up to third position. Aaron Leach will fall to fourth. All of this happening behind the 38 of Chase Burrow, who's driving the car that normally is run by Billy Hubbard. There's your second place car, the red and white 45. Well, as we watch these cars come through turns 3 and 4, and that is going to be the red and white 54, that is. That's Billy Hubbard in a different car. He's riding in third spot. As you see behind him, he was able to get by Aaron Leach on the initial start. Aaron Leach in that black and red number 81. Cars rolling through turns 3 and 4. As we see a battle there, it looks like the 81, Aaron Leach is there. He's trying to get back by Billy Hubbard in turns 1 and 2.
Yep, Aaron Leach, a very experienced racer here at Langley Speedway, multi-time wing champion back when we used to have that division, now has made the move to even bigger wings on these sprint cars and trying to get it done here at Langley Speedway tonight. He's got Billy Hubbard in front of them, and he's also playing defense with Chris Humblett behind him. Humblett, like you mentioned earlier, has taken the 2 checkered flags that the Virginia Sprint has seen here at Langley Speedway in 2025. He's trying to work his way up through the field. But again, these cars are high-powered open wheel machines. Every pass has to be calculated and highly thought out because one wrong move and tires are touching.
There's your leader car, number 38. His best lap was clocked on the 5th time around. Get this, 14.573 seconds around this 4/10 mile oval. That is simply lights out fast. That is Billy Hubbard. That's his race car, but the driver that's piloting it is Chase Burrow. Hubbard on track now in 3rd spot. He's been able to keep the 81 of Aaron Leach at bay, but as we say that, looks like Chris Humblett's going to join that 2-car, make it a 3-car party as we watch our leader coming through turn number 2 here at lap number 9. Is running a solid race here. He is out comfortably over Bill Mullis at the moment. Mullis not letting him get too far out. Bill Mullis can still see that blue number 38 race car here at lap number 10. Good action happening from about 3rd spot on back as we I do have one car very slow coming through turn number 2, and that's going to put us under our first yellow flag of the evening. One car coming to a stop. That is going to be Jimmy Humblett, who has problems athlete in turn 2, and again, that's caution flag number 1 at lap 10.
Yeah, that car just came to a stop. Nothing else really precipitated it, but he is slowed down, and these cars need big help getting back going. So I don't think he'll be able to get going unless we have a 4-wheeler. There we go. There's the 4-wheeler that can help get car 71 back going. But Jimmy Humblett, he's a multi-time modified winner at Dominion, just like Chris is as well. So he is going to get a help getting back going, and he will tuck in line at the rear end of the field. Didn't make any contact with the wall, so he should be good to go to continue. But that'll bring us under our first caution, get things stacked back up. And one driver that'll like to see it is, of course, the captain, Bill Mullis. He will close the gap between himself and Chase Burrow now.
Bill Mullis, indeed, from 2nd on back, wanted to see that caution flag so they can bunch these cars right back together, Nerf bar to Nerf bar. Driver that did not want to see it was Chase Burrow. Chase had a pretty sizable lead by a little over 2 seconds was his advantage, but nevertheless, this will allow the entire field to be right there together, and when they come back by the start-finish line, they will get the indication we're going green flag racing in 1 lap. So again, caution flag 1, Jimmy Humblett, who is being scored in 8th spot, put us under that first caution flag here at Langley Speedway. Now, we talked about how quick these cars get around the racetrack, 14.5 seconds. Justin up here in the tower did the quick calculation with this being a 4/10 of a mile oval. That's an average speed around this racetrack of 97.6 miles per hour. Athlete just shy of 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, blistering speeds for these sprint cars, and that's why it's always so cool to see them out here, because normally they're on dirt, but kind of unconventional seeing them here on the asphalt. They always put on a show. We are back. Green flag racing. Chase Burrow in car number 38 leads us into turns 1 and 2. Then it's Bill Mullis, Billy Hubbard, Aaron Leach, and watch out. Here comes the 20 of Chris Humblett.
We talked about Chris Humblett. He's won the first 2 races here. This is our 3rd Virginia Sprint Car race in 2025. He wants to get all 3, but right now he's got 4 drivers in his way, including 4th place's Aaron Leach as they race at the end of the back straightaway here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. 1 lap until we'll get the cross flags as we go side by side for 4th spot. Here comes car number 20, Chris Humblett, to the inside of Aaron Leach. And just like that, Humblett will take the spot, move the Shiloh, North Carolina racer ahead of the Hampton, Virginia racer of Aaron Leach. So Chris Humblett will take the 4th spot as they race back to 1.
Don't look now. Chris Humblett, a full head of steam. He has already caught the 54 of Billy Hubbard. So Chris Humblett fired off very, very strong after our most recent restart. Keep your eye out on car 20 to make a late race charge, trying to catch Chase Burrow. But after 14 laps, it's still Chase Burrow in the race lead. Bill Mullis about 1.4 seconds behind him. He just ran his personal best lap time of the race with a 14.730. He's got now just 10 more laps to try to close in on car 30.
We just saw Chris Humblett get by Billy Hubbard, so Chris Humblett's now inside the top 3, and he's going to be looking to catch Bill Mullis. There's the race leader, Chase Burrow, coming out of turn number 2. 9 laps to go for car number 38 as he is trying to lead all 25 laps to win this one tonight as we are coming down to the wire. Car 38 is back in turns 1 and 2. has a relatively clean track in front and behind as he takes it back over to turns 3 and 4. And this most recent trip around, 15.036 seconds. As I say that, he just clocked in at 14.9 seconds. They are still flat out hauling the mail around this racetrack. As we look out on the back straightaway to see Chris Humblett, he is reeling in Bill Mullis. This is going to be a battle for second.
Yeah, Chris Humblett, if he can get by Bill Mullis, that'll put him one step closer to getting to Chase Burrow by the end of the race, especially if we see another caution. So Chris Humblett really needs to make this move quickly and efficiently if he still wants a shot at this race win. He's already got it done twice here at Langley Speedway this season. One other race to mention with our friends at Shenandoah, and he has gotten very, very close to the back of that 45 machine. Time is running out, though. Just 4 more trips around the racetrack for Chase Burrow. We primarily see him in a late model stock car, in the 00 late model stock car. He's doing something different tonight in a sprint car, showing he's a multi-faceted motorsports competitor. He's got now 3 more laps to get it done.
Battle tightening up for second spot. It's also tightening up for the lead as Bill Mullis continues to turn up the wick, as does Chris Humblett. They are closing in to Chase Burrow with just 2 laps to go. Burrow knows he's got a lot of lap traffic in front. He's got 2 cars chasing him down behind, including Bill Mullis in the 45. And here comes Chris Humblett. He goes to the top of the racetrack to try to pass the captain as they take the white flag one more time around this 4/10 of a mile oval. All of this happening here as Chase Burrow continues to lead. We see tire smoke from Chris Humblett as that car goes sideways. Coming out of turn number 4, leading wire to wire, Chase Burrow will win the Virginia Sprint Series season finale at Langley Speedway. So car number 38, Chase Burrow, started on the pole position. He'll lead the entire 25-lap race to get the win here this evening. And we saw a thriller there at the end where Bill Mullis was under attack from Chris Humblett while Mullis was under attack from the Humblett race car. They were both closing in to Chase Burrow, but in the end, Burrow will cross the start-finish line. He'll take the checkered flag from Jeff Swanson as the first car by that line to get the victory here tonight. But what was a commanding lead quickly dissipated, but in the end, he does get the victory. So Chase Burrow, a winner in the modifieds. He's going to win the Virginia Sprint Series action here as well. It is Chase Burrow victorious. Bill Mullis will come home in second spot here tonight. And let's go trackside.
Fans very familiar with Chase Burrow in many different facets of motorsports, late models. He's been in modifieds. Now he gets it done here in a sprint car. Not one of his own, of course. That's Billy Hubbard normally piloting this number 38 machine. Chase Burrow going to get it done. I do see he's got Billy parked right behind him in the Matt Mullins car, so driver swaps going on, but stepping into a new environment, Chase Burrow finds comfort immediately, leading from flag to flag, getting a nice drink of water. I mean, it takes a whole lot of effort to wheel these big machines around this tiny racetrack. Definitely need that water for sure. Especially, again, 90 lap averages that we're seeing, or 97 lap averages. Very blistering speeds that these cars are turning. We'll get a word momentarily with Chase. Here he is climbing out. Race fans, make some noise. Chase Burrow is your Virginia Sprint Series winner. Lots of congratulations from the Hubbard Racing team. Hug there from Billy Hubbard. Excited to see that 38 car in victory lane. Get the checkered flag as well. All right. A few more celebration. We'll bring Chase over here. Man, leading from flag to flag. Yet some tough competitors behind you with Billy and Bill Mullis, Chris Humblett, but able to get it done in this 38 car, stepping into an unfamiliar environment, but seeing similar results that we know you for, able to get it done. So just walk us through that race, powering these high-speed sprint cars around this track.
Man, you know, it's a blast to come run these things. Man, huge shout out to Bubba and Billy Hubbard, you know, for letting me ride this thing. Thanks to my family. They don't like it a lot, but they might like it a little more tonight. But yeah, just a huge shout out to all those guys, Forest Marine, BNC Seafood, Haywood Marine, like I said, Billy and Bubba, you know, for letting me drive it, and yeah, that was fun.
Now, we've seen you in so many different cars here, late models, modifieds, sprint cars. What was the mindset shift that you had to have to step into this car and be successful?
Man, it ain't even close to anything I drive, so it's just it's a fun night. You know, there's no stress. You know, I didn't need to come do anything. You know, there was no standards, so to be able to do it, you know, become a winner is pretty cool.
Congratulations, Chase Burrow, closing out Halloween Speedfest, getting it done for the Virginia Sprint Series.
That's right. He gets it done. He will win the season finale for the Virginia Sprint Series here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. And Chase Burrow will become the 10th different winner in their 14th and final race of 2025. So again, it's Chase Burrow, your winner this evening. The captain, Bill Mullis, a solid runner-up in car number 45. He'll bring it home second. Chris Humblett will finish up in third here this evening. Coming home in fourth was Billy Hubbard, and Aaron Leach rounds out the top 5 in car 81. John Smith finished sixth tonight. Seventh was Moyok's Darren Bollock. Eighth was Jacob Wood. Caleb Harris comes home in ninth, and Chris Ware rounds out the top 10. Jimmy Humblett will finish up 11th here this evening at Langley Speedway. So that's going to do it here tonight. We want to congratulate all of the race winners here this evening. They included Chase Burrow, as we just documented, as they're continuing to celebrate down in Dale Lemons Victory Lane. Aiden Millette picked up our limited late models presented by Yesco in that 100-lap contest. We watched Johnny Schalk pick up the championship and the win in the series finale for the Virginia Mini Cups for 2025. We watched Josh Roberts pick up the win in the Southern Ground Pounders for the Sportsmen. And we also saw Shane Lockhart get it done in the Modifieds, as well as Chase Burrow and Bill Mullis winning both heats earlier tonight for the Virginia Sprint Series. A special thanks to the entire production crew who brought you tonight's Hampton Convention and Visitors Bureau Halloween Speedfest 200 on Facebook Live and YouTube. On the cameras, it was Raymond Haynes, Taylor McQuinn, and Brandon Pearl. And on the control panel, as always, our producer, Justin Kern. For Atlee Weiss, I am Brian White, thanking you for joining us this evening. We look forward to seeing you at the races soon, including next weekend for our season finale. Good night, everybody.